DM podcast episode 16, where we'll be talking about the latest news stories from DM News and other bits and bobs. Talking about the taxi trade, Uber, and everything else. And we're currently live as well while filming on YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, I think, any other services I can't remember. And we're just going to generally have a little gab as per usual and chat bubbles, really. But then we might stop in between little gaps and talk to any comments and stuff or any questions that we might have while live streaming it. But obviously you can listen on the normal Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, etc., etc. Now, as per usual, before we start the podcast, we always ask what everyone's up to. So I'm going to go with Mick today. What have you been up to today, kiddo? And what have you got planned for the rest of the day after the podcast?
I've just come back from a manor. Done the school run this morning, as usual. And I've got another one at 1:45.
Yeah.
To Manny again. And then I'm done then. Fly some planes.
Fly some planes this afternoon, yeah? Where are you flying?
I can't remember what's next on my list. I think I'm at Barcelona at the minute, going over to Cork in Ireland.
Are you flying now?
No.
Oh, I was going to say, it would kill your PC, wouldn't it?
I mean, my character's in Barcelona at the minute.
Oh, right, okay. By the way, Scouse Aviation on TikTok and Twitch, check them out. Mark?
Yep.
What have you been up to today, kiddo?
Just had a Manchester out this morning, 5 o'clock. I'm supposed to have had a return, but she got cancelled. She's coming in at 2 o'clock this afternoon, which I'll be doing. That's it. I'm doing this.
And that's it, and then that's it, chilling?
Yeah, had a shower, cleaned the shower, cleaned the bathroom. That's it.
You done a bit of Uber this morning, didn't you?
For half hour, yeah, but didn't do a job. Went on for half hour.
Yeah.
Only because traffic was horrendous, and nearly every job that I was given were about 20 minutes away. So I thought, yeah, bugger that.
Terrible Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, today I got up all keen to do a little Uber shift before we come in here, started filming this, and about 35 minutes online from home, and didn't get any offers. And then I spoke to the lads in the WhatsApp group, and they said it's diabolical out. So I went offline and just chilled and took the kids to school and stuff like that. And then I've got a outbound to Manchester at 4:30 after the school run today. And that's me done today, but I've got to do all the editing and stuff like that. But what I wanted to bring up on the actual podcast, because I know I've been updating everyone on TikTok and YouTube, but last podcast, I mentioned that my Tesla was broke with the air suspension. And in the end, summarise, make it dead short, because if I told everyone, is the garage I took her to, MB Liverpool, charged me double what Tesla would have. And in the end, I've left them a negative review, done some videos and stuff like that. And they've replied to me and said that they're going to refund me the difference between Tesla and what they charge me. So Tesla were quoting me $930 and they charged me $1630, I think, or $1650. And they come back to me and said they're going to refund me the difference. I'm still waiting on a refund, but I spoke to them this morning and they actually said that they're starting the process to refund me, which is, obviously, I know I got overcharged nearly double of the manufacturer, but obviously from a business standpoint, it's a good thing if they do refund me, isn't it? You know what I mean? Like, as a positive. Like, you'd be happy to be refunded, wouldn't you? Really? Mm-hmm. And what does that say about their company? So I'm just wondering, you, Mark, do you reckon it's a good thing? Obviously, it's a good thing for me, but I mean, from a company standpoint, are they accepting that, like, maybe, we did overcharge and we made a mistake and that's why we're refunding you, or are they saving face, or what?
It's an hard one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Every business is in for the profit, aren't they? They're not going to make a loss. So, but if Tesla's, I don't know. I generally don't know. Have they admitted? Basically, they've admitted they dropped a boo-boo, haven't they? So, but it's good on them to recharge, repay you back. No, they haven't done it yet, but they're in the process of doing it. But they're probably holding their hands up. But how many people are out there would have just accepted that? That's my problem with it. You didn't accept it, and you knew. Do you know what I mean? You've got a platform. That's probably why. I don't know. You've got a platform, haven't you? To
mow on.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, end of the day, right? You want something that's cheap, but because you've got a Tesla, you're going to have to pay Megabox to get it fixed. So do you know what I mean? So you went with them because it's quick turnaround, isn't it? What's the matter, Mick?
Tell him how it is. Tell him how it is, Mark.
Well, the quick turnaround. Well,
Tell him I wouldn't refund you.
Why?
Because damage is done. You've put the video out. You've put your negative review. Damage is done.
Yeah.
No one, regardless whatever happens, whether they refund you or not, people aren't going to go to them.
Why?
Because what Mark's saying is you've got a platform. 90% of people will go in there, get charged that, and walk away.
Yeah, but Mick, but then turn it round. He's got the platform to do it.
So yeah, but hey, the guys who's charging me could have been a lower on guy, and the guy who both looked at all the facts and went, hold on a minute.
Yeah.
Something's not adding up here, and we shouldn't be as expenses compared to the manufacturer. And they've only just got into Tesla as well, by the way. Hey,
the average
my
Joe.
My negative experience is like, I think I'm like the second or third Tesla. They're literally just getting into Tesla. So maybe they by accidentally overquoted me. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. It's still early days because I haven't got the full refund yet. And I don't know what's going on myself personally. Do you know what I mean? But I just think from a business standpoint, if they are going to refund me, then it is a bit of obviously positive for me. I mean, personally, but I mean, from a company standpoint, if you say accidentally overcharge the customer and then you didn't have to, then refund them because or whatever. Do you know what I mean? So it's a bit of
the average person walking in there would have been told, right, this is how much it is, this is the thingy, you've agreed the price, you've paid it, and then after the fact, thingied it. I would have been questioning it well before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what the average person should do. If they've already paid it, they've got the receipt, the thingied, 9 times out of 10, they're just going to leave a negative review and go away. And go somewhere else next time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I get you. It's just it's a bit of a interesting one. Like we'll have to just watch and finally wait and see what happens. Like, do you know what I mean?
Them refunding you's not going to give any. It's not going to make it any better for the company, is it?
I'd say so. Yeah, definitely. Because myself personally, I'd go and change their 1-star review to like a 3, and I'd update their review and say, listen, after what's happened, at least they've flipped and come back, and they haven't admitted that they're wrong or they've acknowledged that they're wrong, but they've come back, and if they're going to refund the difference from a company standpoint,
what they've done in the first place, what they've done in the first instance is terrible.
I know.
So I wouldn't go and use them for that.
No, I know.
Regardless whether they refund you or not. Do you know what I mean?
I know. It's a bit of a hard one, isn't it? It is. But listen, put cars aside because I am actually back on the road. You know, we were talking a few weeks ago about taking our kids in Ubers and stuff and under 18s, and then literally last week they've introduced Uber Teens. So I know we already talked about this. I just want to touch on it a little bit. But Mick, would you, if you're at work, and would you take an Uber Teen job?
Well, yeah, I would.
Yeah, happy to take an Uber Teen job if the price is right and everything else.
No reason why I wouldn't do it. I've just applied and put my interest in for it. But it's doing me. I didn't all these different things. Comfort this, Excel that, Teens this, Uber Pet. Next thing, Uber Green's coming to come. It's doing all me head in.
I wish Uber Green comes, thank you.
Do you know what I mean? It's too many preferences. It's doing me head in. Like, I can't believe a Renault Traffic or a Ford Tornado isn't a comfort vehicle because they carry more than 4 passengers.
I can't believe yours isn't. I can't believe yours isn't a comfort.
It's not.
I understand there's not an exact
Tornadoes aren't comfy.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm deadly. I've been through it all. I've looked at it. I've applied for my vehicle to go comfort, and I know they're going to come back to me and say, comfort's just for 4-passenger vehicles. It's the next step up for an X. I know that's what they're going to come back to me for.
What's the whole point of having comfort? To be comfortable in a car,
so you don't get your Yaris
leg room.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Basically.
so comfort's actually the gap between Uber X and exec. But what doesn't make sense, right, is Mick has got a Renault Traffic. You can't get more comfier than a Renault Traffic. You can't. In the back of a Renault Traffic, there's loads of room. In the Ford Tornado, there's loads of room. Do you know what I mean? But I don't know, is Kia Nero's comforts and stuff like that? I think
a Nero is, yeah.
I know mine is, because I've got the odd comfort.
Applied
Yeah,
for it.
I don't
Give me the
understand
link.
that minibuses are.
Yeah,
What?
I put a thing in, you know, where you contact support, just to, like, obviously get some feedback of why, and blah, blah. What was the first one I had? I was thinking, oh, your vehicle doesn't think you the comfort, blah, blah, blah. And they give me a link to say, here's what all the vehicles are, so you can go and check what preferences on every vehicle. So I was having a little nose through it, seeing Tornadoes weren't even comfort. So at this point, I'm thinking, okay, I've got really no leg to stand on here, because no MPVs or XLs have been marked with a comfort, as far as I'm aware. I didn't look at Mercs, to be totally honest.
No, I know for a fact Vitos are, only because at least in the past, I know Vitos are comfort. Because I've been sat off the airport with a lad in a Vito and he got a comfort job. I remember off the top of my head. But I don't know if that's changed going forward, but he definitely, before comfort was in Liverpool, it was in Manchester, wasn't it? And he got a comfort job.
I just feel they're bringing these little, they're all fair enough, but you've seen the market for comfort in Liverpool.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And this is the reason why I wanted to apply for it, because I know every other job of yours, what you've been going out as doing, is comfort. And therefore,
it was initially when it first launched. They're not as popular now, because I think they had a special promo one. Same with the Exec XXL now. They've got a special promo one, I think, for passenger side, to try and push that new thing. But eventually it'll go back in the old. Like recently, like the last time I went out, I think I had 1 or 2 comforts out of like 15 jobs, do you know what I mean? So it has calmed down a bit now, but I can see where you're coming from. And Mark's been switching to say something, going, are you comfort, Mark?
Yeah, mine's comfort. No, I just can't get my head around that they're not comfort, because I just can't get it. Do you think it's come some sort of snobbery? So you're saying if Vito's doing it, you know, as in Mercedes Vitos?
No, because like your Kia Neros and I think aren't Saint and Skodas as well comfort. Maybe like a Skoda, a Superb or Octavia's a comfort. So it's not bad. Comfort's not badge related.
No, I mean van wise. I mean minibus wise.
It's got to be. It's got to be the fact that some reason they're only having comfort for cars or minibuses. Vitos and V classes, I don't know. I don't even know for V classes comfort. I know the XL and XXL. Do you know what I mean? But it's the same as well as the V classes and exec. Do you know what I mean? You know, on its own exec car.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Bit of a weird one, isn't it? I just can't wait for Uber Green to come to Liverpool.
I just think there's too many gaps that they're leaving out when they bring these preferences in. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
So many people getting left behind.
Do you know what I mean? I don't know why they never brought out the Uber XXL. Why didn't he bring out the Uber XXL and then
one
Uber
big example? Do you know what I mean? There's one big example. And the fact that,
what's the difference between
exec, sorry, Mark, exec XXL is only £1 more than XL is just
crazy. So everyone's booking that, aren't they, really, at the moment?
Oh, I don't see why you wouldn't. The only
like I said, I don't know if it's a special promo, Mark.
The longer you wait longer for them. That's the only good thing for an XL driver, is that you'll see 10 minutes for £1 more, but you'll see 3-4 minutes for £1 less in an XL.
Yeah.
That's the only good thing.
And what were you going to say, Mark? Sorry, mate.
No, I was just going to say, what's the difference between an XL and an XXXL? But it's XX. It's an exec car, but an XL, isn't it? It's all right. I was being thick then.
Go on, what?
Yeah,
no, I couldn't.
There's big difference, really, to Mercedes.
Yes, I know. I thought XXL. I thought 2 X's and an L, but it's exec XL, isn't it?
Yeah. No, I think isn't it
I'm
exec
just being thick.
XXL?
XXL, yeah. Double XL.
Yeah, it's XXL, so it's extra large, as in an extra, so an extra passenger as well and more luggage. But someone just commented, by the way. Yeah, Kia Sportage is comfort as well, which is a Kia, like a mini SUV or SUV. So it's definitely, they must be not including minibuses, surely, wasn't it? Non-Mercedes minibuses.
Yeah. So you don't have an XL Comfort either. This is what I mean by they're leaving so many people behind. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, it's fried.
Not hard, is it?
So you should have where Comfort is basically X and Comfort. Do you know what I mean? It should have an XL Comfort.
Yeah.
There's so many preferences that they're missing out, and this is the problem with it.
You got Uber X, Comfort, and Exec, haven't you? And then you got like Lux and stuff like that, which is even more than Exec down in London. But like you say, for a minibus, you got XL and Exec XL.
Now
Exec,
you've got
XXL. That's all you've got.
And that's
it.
it.
Means where you're saying you should have XL Comfort, XXL, and then Exec XXL.
See, XXL should have came before Exec XL, really.
There's too many X's going off. I can't cope with all this. I can't cope. It's too many X. And do you know what? You're both Scouse accents, and you're going. It's like no. It's like white noise. You know, like white noise on the TV. It's like that to me at the moment.
But yeah, anyway. But yeah, I got a few good points there. But listen, one of the biggest news that's happened this week, and it kind of happened yesterday. Taxi license finally got into Parliament, and I think it's going to be huge to a certain degree. Now, whoever watched last night, I just done an article today on DM News, and at the moment, it looks like they talked about it. Some was pro, someone was against, and then at the end, they kind of just summarised. So I don't think anything's happening or anything's going to happen anytime soon, but they are at least talking about it. And the main things that they were talking about was cross-border hiring, out-of-town drivers, and the Deregulation Act. And then some people were saying that, as an example, a Wolverhampton driver who got his licence in Wolverhampton but works in Newcastle, what they're saying is that driver is too far away from his council to be like supervised, and also that driver's not following Newcastle's taxi licensing rules. He's following Wolverhampton taxi license rules. So all stuff like safety and everything come up in it. Do you know what I mean? But myself personally, same with Mick, I'm guessing with the airport runs, the Deregulation Act and getting your jobs on the way back from the airport and et cetera, is still very beneficial to a lot of people and a lot of drivers. Do you know what I mean? So I was just going to say to you guys, I'll start with Mark, how do you reckon you can somehow suggest, if you could suggest to the government on a solution, what would your solution be to try and fix the negatives but try and save the positives?
Well, I've said all along, if you live in, get a Wolverhampton license. I haven't got a problem with the people going out and getting it cheaper. It's just as long as you work within the area that you live in, I suppose. That's what I would say. So if I live in Sheffield, I can only work in the Sheffield postcode. I can't work in elsewhere, like with your guys.
Do you mean even if you Wolverhampton licensed?
Yeah, you can get a Wolverhampton license, but end of the day, it's a license, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like a driving license, basically thing. You can get it wherever you live, but I don't know. I don't know, like if your postcode's in S postcode, Sheffield postcode, you work in the Sheffield. So basically, you can't work. I can't go to Birmingham and work. That's basically what I'm saying.
Yeah, but
I can't go to Liverpool. I can't go to Liverpool anyway. But what I'm saying is, if you live in Sheffield, you can only work in Sheffield. That's me. You get the license, get the Wolverhampton license, but work there.
Yeah, but I get that. But also, you're Sheffield licensed, aren't you?
Yep.
Haven't you got a strict age limit on your car?
Yeah.
How old's your age?
First license, first time you put it on, it's 4 years. So if it's a 5-year cold, you can't use it for the first registration. Once it's registered, I believe it's 9 or 10 years.
And then you can't use it.
No, I think it's 9
Do you know what I mean?
years.
But
If it's a Mercedes or anything like that, I think they stretch it to 11 years.
But that's what I mean. So for what people are looking at and what do is coming up in the Parliament and everything else, is you're doing the same job as they are. This example is a Wolverhampton's having in Sheffield. But he can have I think like it was a 12, 13-year-old car from the get-go.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then you're sat there driving in your car with your magnets on, following your council ruling. But then the other driver who's come to your area is in the older car, doesn't need a compliance test, it's an MOT, and obviously doesn't need bags and stuff like that. So I think that's what they're trying to get at in the thing, you see.
But isn't there a thing coming in? Didn't we talk about it? Or am I again being thick? Are they not? Are the local councils are not getting on board? So that you've got to run by. They can report you.
Yeah, they're trialing it. It's not in every council now.
So it's only certain areas, right? Okay.
Certain areas, yeah. But at the moment, if Sheffield Council pulls a Wolverhampton driver, I think they have to then kind of grass on the driver to Wolverhampton Council, then Wolverhampton deal with the issue.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So Sheffield hasn't got that control over that driver, do you get me? But they can't enforce anything on that driver as of yet. So I mean, so there's loads of regulations and rules they can change that can benefit the private hire industry, do you know what I mean? Without point blank killing cross-border hire or whatever. What's your input, Mick? What do you reckon, lad?
I don't know, it's hard to go back now, isn't it? Very hard to go back. Deregulation bill has killed it completely. If anything, if they could and if it was possible, revert back that again.
You really think that extreme again? So you can only pick up or drop off in Liverpool Council?
No, not to that extreme. Do you know what I mean? I think more of the like. You've got to be licensed with. I think the best way to do it is if you live in an L postcode, you've got to be licensed with. Well, 3 of the. It's obviously 3 for us, isn't it? But most
5
cities,
if you include the Wirral and Holton and all that.
Yeah, if you're in Sefton, you've got to be licensed with Sefton. If you're in Knowsley, you've got to be licensed with Knowsley. If you live in Liverpool, you've got to be licensed with Liverpool.
Yeah. So you're on about more of a regionalise it to like Merseyside, say.
That's the only
because if you restrict it like that Hackneys, there's going to be murder in it because obviously you can't pick up on Bootle and take them to Manchester Airport because you're not Sefton.
Yeah, I think.
Do you know what I mean? So you can't.
I think that's the only way it'll change. See, the thing is now is the only way they could probably change that now is from immediate effect, and everyone else who's been lucky enough to get the badges already. But when it comes to the renewals of their badges, they've got to think about it. Then, that's the way I'd do it. So, where on your next badge, you've been given a year badge. You start your process with your local council now, because on the next one, you're not going to get one from us.
You've got to do it,
I get you. So don't just stop it now and cause absolute mayhem. Just say when you're renewing, you can't renew outside your district.
When it comes to your renewal, you've got to go to your local council for your next badge. So start your process now.
A year might be 2 years, probably 2 years, because obviously if you've just got a Wolverhampton badge and then within a year you've got to do it again, you're paying out 2 lots, aren't you? So I'd say 2 years. You've got 2 years to do it.
Yeah, but the only downside is someone who's got 3 months, 6 months left on their badge. Maybe they could give them a waiver for 6 months, an extra 6 months, so they can get it.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Like a letter of consent from the government or the local council. Yeah, he was when the rule came in. He only had 6 months left. Or anyone that's only got 12 months left, you get an extra 12 months or something. Do you know what I mean?
Because myself, Casey, they can't. Everyone's calling it to stop, and you just can't do it because there's 100,000 I think there's 100,000 Wolverhampton drivers now, and 1,000 live and work in Wolverhampton. So if they stop it right now, the other 99,000 would have to return to Wolverhampton to work, which would never happen because it'll just completely put them out of a job. And you can't put 100,000 people out of a job, can you?
No.
So they're going to have to do something to maybe, like you say, tone it down a bit or put a time limit on it or go from like a region from where you live. Do you know what I mean? And you can't go over there. You can't. There's got to be, there's changes. For myself personally, I wouldn't want full-blown deregulation to stop or cross-border to stop. Do you know what I mean? Because then literally 5 miles up the road, I can't pick up and take them to Manchester Airport. I'd have to go, sorry, mate, phone another company there, mate, who's got an operation license with Sefton.
Yeah,
I don't, you know what I mean? It's just that's too crazy.
Yeah, that's
you know
at
what I mean?
the end of the day, you can't do that because you're private hire anyway. And this is the reason why Delta went for the deregulation. I don't think Delta realised the book he was opening when he was fighting for this. Do you know what I mean? Because I think he's done himself over with that. It's allowed Uber to do what they're doing now. Do you know what I mean? So I don't think he's realised the book he's opened when he's fought that in court and got it. But I do feel if they'd done that and said, right, you've got it, it'll monetise it more. The councils will have more control over who they're putting through the system. Like, it'll stop the likes of Wolves and a council somewhere else opening up and going, right, let's do this. There's money to make. There's blah, blah, blah. It'll stop all that because they know it won't get people travelling from Liverpool or companies like Delta pushing people up to other councils and things like that. Do you know what I mean? If you live in that area, you've got to get licensed with your local authority. It's the way it should be.
People really, really, really don't understand. And one of the most popular things I get messages about, and it's legit, I've had so many people over the last few months to message me and go, I can't find a settle car. And I go, oh, where you live, mate? He went, Blackpool. I went, where you licensed, mate? And you're like, Wolverhampton. I went, okay. And I would go, what happened? He went, I went to the local company just to become a driver. And they suggested to go to Wolverhampton because it's quicker, cheaper, whatever. And he's done that with the advice of the local company. And now he's returned back to Blackpool with his Wolverhampton badge. And he can't get a flipping car because he's 100 miles away from Wolverhampton. And the same thing in Liverpool. Delta's doing the same as well. You go to Delta to try and apply for a new badge. They will send you to Wolverhampton. Or they will, on your behalf, get you the Wolverhampton badge. And then they will give you one of their Wolverhampton vehicles. But then if you want to leave Delta and go and work for another company, you give the car back. You've got no car. There's no other companies that hire or settle a Wolverhampton car, or very, very few these days. Do you know what I mean? So there's a lot more things going on than just, people aren't aware that the drawbacks are going for like an out of town council. Do you know what I mean? Well, like your ops license. Do you know what I mean? If you live anywhere, just say you live in Blackpool. What?
They'll get one eventually. At the end of the day, still not struggling, will they? Delta will find a car for them, or whoever.
No, I mean,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I'm trying to say, there's people messaging me saying, and they literally can't get one. They're trying. Do you know what I mean? And it's just because obviously the amount of drivers, and because they're all out of area, they can't go down to Wolverhampton to get a car or whatever. Do you know what I mean? And I just think, even now, because I don't know what's going to happen in the future, but if you can, wherever you live, go and start the process of getting your license in where you live, just as a backup. I know a lot of Wolverhampton lads now are starting to go through their local council just as a backup, because you can still work and drive and everything else as you currently are. But then you got a little backup plan in the future just in case something does change dramatically. Do you know what I mean? But what do you reckon, Mark? Like, have you got any feedback on that?
Be listening to you too. Just enjoyed the little what you just said. I think, I don't know. But I don't really come across many Wolverhampton drivers anyway in Sheffield. There is, but there's not. I don't see many, but
because you can't
do airport. I know they're everywhere, but I mainly do airports, don't I? I don't really do much Ubering, so I'm always in Manchester, and I see a hell of a lot in Manchester.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, obviously Wolverhampton Ubers can't touch you, can they? That's probably why you haven't seen it.
The local firms do use them, but Uber don't.
Yeah, is that Visa, isn't that?
Yeah, Vizu. Yeah, a couple of more local
What
firms.
region do you actually come under, Denmark? Because you seem protected a lot.
He is.
What do you mean? What?
Protected from Wolverhampton Ubers.
What region is it that you actually fall under? So what are we classed as? Northwest? Are we Northwest?
He's West Yorkshire, aren't you, Mark?
South Yorkshire. South Yorkshire.
South Yorkshire. Can you work in Leeds?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Leeds.
So you're technically Yorkshire, then, aren't you? No, like you're
yeah. So
probably...
we've got Sheffield's here.
Yeah.
Leeds.
Can you work north of Leeds?
Doncaster.
Can you work?
I can work from Leeds Airport city centre. I've never tried north.
Yeah. See, as soon as we go east of Manchester, we can't go online. Do you know what I mean? So our region of Uber shares with Wolverhampton and the West Midlands.
I reckon
that's why Wolverhampton can work on Uber in our area, but they can't.
I reckon your region does that around Manchester and that lot. So where your region finishes, that's when we can work, I think.
Yeah.
And you kind of like go below us as well. You kind of like cradle us. Because you can go down as Birmingham, can't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you go down to Birmingham. Can you do East Midlands?
I think
can't.
so. If you can't, I think we can.
So I reckon you cradle us. I think you go down like that. And you go underneath us and we're there. Because didn't you go to Chesterfield once and you couldn't go online?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So the way we look at it, we've got up Blackpool, up to the Lakes, up Manchester, and the whole of West Midlands, so Birmingham and all that, Liverpool, the Wirral, Chester, all that region. Yeah. If you're a Wolverhampton driver, you can work anywhere in that region because Wolverhampton is within that region. This is Uber specific, not taxis. So that's why you don't see Uber Wolverhamptons in Sheffield or Newcastle or London, because it's a separate region. So what happened was, even though legally you can work everywhere with cross-border hiring, I think Uber got in trouble in London because the TfL, when Uber launched, all the outer area London people stormed into London. And London kicked off and went, hold on a minute, why is Brighton or whatever, Portsmouth all working in London? What's going on? So what they done is they kicked everyone out of the TfL. Went, no, only TfL licensed Ubers can work in the TfL region, London. And then Uber come out then and separated it. So originally, you could work in Uber, Liverpool licensed Uber, work in London, originally. And then they brought the regions out. And then we used to share Liverpool and Manchester. And that was our region, weren't it, Mick? And the West Midlands and Birmingham was never our region. And then soon as Wolverhampton started churning out these licenses, they must have thought, well, where are they all going to go? Because they're churning out too many for the population of the West Midlands. Birmingham was just getting overrun in the early days, just churning the badges out there quick. So then, obviously, that's why they included us, the Northwest, with West Midlands, to let the Wolverhamptons have a look.
What baffles me though is if TfL can do it, why can't Liverpool? Why can't Sefton?
It's London.
I know. I don't know.
Because it's the city.
I just know the power of London.
It's the capital.
The power of London and the TfL. The power of the TfL is huge.
London is its own little country. I'm telling you.
Yeah, everything outside of London.
Yep.
Second best, isn't it?
Yep.
Really. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure if Liverpool Council wanted to do it, they could.
Oh, mate, 100%. Look at Chester. Chester doesn't allow minibuses or exec to work in Chester, Uber. So if I go to Chester, I can only work Uber X in Chester. I can't work exec and XL because the council's disallowed it to protect the hackney trade. Do you know what I mean? So if it can do as specific as a little town as Chester, do you know what I mean? They could do it if they wanted. If Liverpool Council, Sefton and Knowsley come and contacted Uber, do you know what I mean? And said, listen, this is what we want going in our city limits. I'm pretty sure Uber would have to follow suit, wouldn't he? Surely?
The question should be then, why
I'm sure
don't
the
they do it?
council's rulings definitely override Uber's rulings 100%.
Yeah,
Mm.
100%.
Do you
But
know
what
I
you're
mean?
saying,
So-
Mark, about not doing it, because Uber obviously is an American over here, and all they care about is getting the passengers picked up and dropped off to a certain degree. Like, obviously, that's all that matters from a big business like that, is make sure
Yeah.
the customers are happy. Do you know what I mean? And then that's the end of it. So if we go, kick all these drivers out of the flipping your own city, just say, example, Manchester, because Manchester's really overrun with loads of Knowsley, loads of Sefton, loads of Wolverhampton. Manchester's really bad, innit? Because it's one of the largest cities outside of London. And when I've like dropped off in Manchester, and like, literally every, honestly God, every little car is a different plate. Wolverhampton, Knowsley, Sefton, bum, 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 bum. Honestly, it's mad. And out there, like the amount of colours of different plates.
And it's crazy
in the
that
city
Manchester
centre.
haven't kicked up a foot. Manchester City, Greater Manchester Council haven't kicked up a fuss. There must be something stopping them.
That Andy,
Andy
Money.
Birmingham,
one of his names.
Money.
Yeah. He
That's what's
wanted
stopping
to,
him.
didn't he? And he
Like
literally said, as soon as Labour's in power, we're going to do something about it. Do you know what I mean? He said that, didn't he?
Yeah, but
So, we don't know what the future's going to hold. That's it, innit?
what
do you know
money
what I
are they
mean?
getting
With the
off
trade
of the
itself.
drivers coming into the city and doing their work, though, Mark? Unless it's obviously it's Uber giving them a backhander.
I don't know, but there's got to be something there, isn't there? There's got to be. Or don't you think?
There's
But
definitely
I'll-
something stopping them, isn't there?
Mm.
I won't say backhanders, but there's got to be something. There's got to be.
Yeah.
There's something stopping them. It's
Interesting,
gotta
isn't
be.
Because because talking about Uber, obviously, I know Mark, obviously we didn't get all the finer details, but you said the other day, didn't you say that one of your jobs, a Sage job, was over the 50% commission? It was actually more than 50% taken off the customer? Because he weren't happy, was he? He was kicking off at you, weren't he, over the price?
He wasn't happy, but he said he had to get to work. He had to get to this interview, and he said he'd just wait until the surge went, but he had to. And he goes, he said he was kicking himself because he left it to the last minute. But then when he went to do it, I think he paid. I can't remember. How
Wasn't
much
it
he paid
40
now.
quid and
I
you
got-
got 17?
39 quid
I
instead.
got £18 something, and he paid 39 quid.
So 21 quid commission and you got left with 18.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So that's over 50%, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's painful, that, isn't it? But obviously, I know you're going to look at the positive way, like, yeah,
At
you
the
got
end of the
18
day,
miles.
At the end of the day, I looked at the distance, how long it was going to take me, and all day I'll do that price. All day.
Oh, mate, yeah, you got 18 quid
all
for 5
day.
miles.
But when
This is
the
the
passenger
principle of
turns
it.
around and says, when the passenger turned around and said, I can't remember how we got onto it, but so I were happy to do that job.
Yeah.
And I were happy plodding along, and then as soon as he said I paid £39 for this job, I'm like,
did it hurt?
pardon my French, I'm like, oh my God, I should be getting 20 odd quid for this job then. Late 20s, even 30 quid. But I get Uber. There's some jobs I've done. I've got 15 quid and the customer's only paid 9 quid. Do you know what I mean? So it's 6 quid. So you get Uber's part of that. But if that customer hadn't told me how much you got paid, I would have come off that job and thought, I'm happy with that job. But then he told me how much, and I thought, yes.
No, honestly, like when I seen it, and you told us in the WhatsApp group, it was sickening. Because like you say, you are right. You're saying, one sec, the TikTok live's gone. So you're saying, right, that you were happy with 18 quid in the 5 mile. Happy days. Brilliant. Everyone would be happy with that, do you know what I mean? But then not knowing would have been even better that what they paid. As soon as the driver the passenger going, I can't believe I paid 39 quid for this journey. It just takes a little bit of a disheartening out of the job, doesn't it? And you're going, oh man, I just wish you got a little bit more for that one. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Honestly, it was sickening,
Want a
wasn't
bit
it?
of cake.
What?
You always want to have the piece of the cake. If he had turned around and said to me, "I paid a tenner for this," I'm thinking, "Well, I got paid 19." Do you know what I mean? I'd be like, "Oh, I've just robbed Uber," but Uber's robbing me.
I had a job the other day, mate, and it was I got £7, and I had to run like 3 miles to it, and the customer paid £4.10. So Uber nearly doubled the fare for me to go and pick them up. Do you know what I mean? So it is swings and roundabouts. I don't think there's some guy behind a computer going, let's steal more of Mark's job here. Do you know what I mean? I just think it's more of, you've got a mad algorithm to make sure that the customer gets picked up. And also how much we can get from that fare is the maximum. And that's it then, isn't it? It's literally that. Try and get as much money as we can out of the fare and also get the passenger taken to his journey. And that's just the end of the way it works, isn't it? And then you got to accept it or lump it and move on. Do you know what I mean? But I have just gone through what is going on YouTube, guys. There's a billion questions.
It's mainly about the Wolves thing.
Oh, but isn't it? Oh my God. Well, listen, guys, we're going to end the podcast for now, but we'll stay live on. When we end the podcast, we've got to end it on YouTube and Twitch, but we'll stay live on TikTok for a little bit. Go through the comments and stuff if you want. Because it's 46 minutes, and I think. What time do you have to leave, Mick?
I've got an hour, yeah.
Hour, yeah. And Mark?
What time is it? 12 o'clock.
12 o'clock.
I've probably got half hour, 45 minutes.
Half hour, 45 minutes. Sweet. Well, what we'll do is we'll call it a day on the filming of the podcast, just so we can obviously chop it up and get it live on the thingy, but we'll stay live on TikTok. So if you're watching on Twitch or YouTube and want to ask some questions and stuff, go over to TikTok for us. Legends. Right, thanks very much for tuning in. Don't forget, big thank you to Mark and Mick, aka Scouse Aviation. Go check them out. And as per usual, yeah, thanks for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed it. Follow us, like us on all the streams and stuff. And catch us on the next one. See you soon. Love you, bye.
Bye. Good Mick.